Hey there, comic friends and fiends. It's Rob, and with me for Slab Hub, as always, Chris the comic vet, live from the car.
Live from the car.
Now, this looks like is this a different car than you do your comics from? You normally do your comics from on Wednesdays.
Oh man, same car.
Oh man, the lighting's just different. I don't know. It just seems like it's like the interior looked different. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe it's because I'm leaning. I don't know. No, my other ride's a motorcycle. So yeah, no, this.
Oh
this
no, this would be it. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Oh my goodness gracious! All right, it's all better there. Hey, how you doing? What you do, Pikachu? Sold twice. I'm so glad that you're here today. This is the Slab Hub for you, sir, because there might be a lot of a certain symbiote in this particular box. Just saying, maybe. Cat Fan Comics, how you doing? Navs, good to have you with us. Let's see who else is here. That's well, there you go. That's the three of you. All right, congratulations. While we're here, before we jump straight into this, let me remind everybody, the Don, Jimmy the Don of the Comic Book Mafia, of which we are both now apparently are made men in. He's doing his road to 1,000 subscribers, and when he hits that, we'll be doing a big giveaway contest for him. And so for my contribution to Jimmy's thing, we'll be giving away the CBCS 9.8 double signed by Tyler Kirkham and Donnie Cates, Venom issue 28. It's the secret virgin variant copy there. So that'll be given away. So if you haven't subscribed to Jimmy for some strange reason yet, make sure you do.
You sir are bringing the heat with your prize. I don't have a copy of what my prize is, but I'm giving away my donation to the cause is the famous Detective Comics
27. You are amazing.
I know. I'm so kind.
I know. I'm blown away by that.
I know.
Right, you heard it here,
all
folks.
You have to do is subscribe to my channel. No. But all joking aside, yes, you need to subscribe to both our channels.
It's a Detective Comics that you wrote
in order to win, you have to be subscribed to both of us and Jimmy, of course. I'm going to be giving away a copy of the very famous Detective Comics Joker Train cover. From the very early 80s. And it was it almost want to say it's a little painful to part with it. But Jimmy granted a wish, and like yourself, I've been very fortunate enough to be a part of 10 Questions, his flagship show, as you know, and it's the least I could do. All joking aside, it's the least I can do. I was very flattered that he asked me to be a part of this collective to help him get to 1,000, and by which he's also going to try and help our channels grow a little bit further. And it's the least I can do. It's like I said, it's a very famous. I don't know the number off the top of my head.
I don't remember either, but yeah, it's an awesome cover. I love that cover.
Yeah, the Detective Comics Joker Train cover, and yeah, it's a pretty special book, and I think it would grade very well. It was something that I was fortunate enough to win from Torpedo Comics, and they graded it in their own style as a 9.0. And Torpedo's actually not bad when it comes to
pretty conservative. Grading. I've seen from what I've been pulling out. Some of them I almost think that they're just randomly grabbing backing boards, because I've had some that they've graded an 8.5 or an 8, and I'm looking at them going, what the hell are you seeing here? There is nothing that prevents this from being a 9.4, 9.6.
And I'll be honest, Rob. If the border was open and I could travel to the United States, I would travel and bring that book and have it shipped off to Sarasota myself. But I'm just not going to pay the arm and a leg to what it is to cross the border.
And you didn't want to do the CBCS through the Canadian.
Their hours are very difficult. Their hours are generally when I'm slaving to the grind. But they're only open on Fridays. But let's get into that box.
Well, I do want to get into this, but I mentioned something I should mention, because part of the Slab Hub is the education as it comes to having your books encapsulated. And so one of those things, of course, is as I was fortunate, Chris and I were talking one time, and he did no clue that this was the case. And just to let all the other Canadians watching, if you are interested in having your books graded, so CBCS does have a mail and ship to office in Canada. Now, it's going to expand the lead times because what they're going to do is they ship and gather them there, and then they bring them across the border and, to their facilities and whatnot. But they do have a ship point in Canada, so you don't have to pay international shipping on your books. Something to check out with CBCS. And what you do is when you log in, if you're not a member, that's fine. You can create a free account. You don't have to have an account that you pay for. When you go to submit your books, you just choose whether you're going through the United States or whether you're going through Canada. So the more you know.
The more you know.
All right.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's right. And of course, last comment before we get into the books, I will say I am closing into my 500 subscriber giveaway. I think we're like 20 something away. So I am starting to go through the books and start to gather multiple prizes for the giveaway. You can guarantee there will be slabs, as well as at least one block of raw books, potentially, that are themed, and so we'll see from there. So multiple prizes, and then maybe even some guests will come on. I don't know. It depends on whether I decide to try to call favors back in or not, but we'll see. All right, let me begin myself here, and let's get started on this. And of course, as always, we'll do a couple giveaways from the pool box back here, so you'll want to stick around on that. First book out of the box. Oi, oi, oi. We're going to start with the letter A, because these are in alphabetical order.
A. Yes, sir. It's a good one to start with.
Amazing Spider-Man, number 49 from the current volume. Despite the fact that Nick Spencer had something to do with this book, what's more important is we have Bruce Timm and his bitch signature right there on the cover with Mary Jane. Interestingly enough, this is essentially a reverse of almost the cover, the first Mary Jane cover. If you go back to that ASM 60 something, I think it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if you take that cover and you look at it, it's almost like you change the perspective. It's the same kind of outfit type thing. So obviously in the Bruce Timm style, pinup style type of thing.
Right.
It's a great book. So thrilled with that book. All right. Hey, Shop, how you do? Oops. So do you get a CBCS artist certification? That sold twice. Getting one would be potentially a good idea if you're going to do something. The advantage is that CBCS would not, if you get set up with them, is you would not have to do the submitting. Right now through the CGC, you're having to submit on behalf of your clients. With the other, you could just do the art, send it back to them, and they could send it off and get verified as opposed to authentic, which looks the same and everything else. And then people who historically you've done, like the very first sketch cover you did that this guy owns, see, I keep it close by. Then I could send this off and get that slabbed and authenticated, but I can't do it with CGC. Well, I guess maybe I could if I sent it back to you and stuff. Anyways, Shop, I wanted to acknowledge. That's how you doing there, brother. It is a wonderful thing. This guy, whoever did this, I mean, this guy's a wonderful artist. I think you should hit him up, Sold Twice, and tell him how great he is. Oh, wait. And there it is, Sold Twice. Amazing.
2 fun Warner Brothers properties.
I just keep that laying around here. I was his first. I took his virginity. Nice. Cute.
Only here on Slab Hub do people take each other's virginity.
You're not the first. Wait. All right. Coming up next. How about some Mark Brooks action?
Yes,
sir. Mark Brooks?
I do enjoy Mark Brooks.
Who doesn't? Look at that one. How about this?
Oh, man. All right.
Felicia Hardy filling out that spider suit. Although I don't remember Peter running around in high heels all that much, high heel boots. That's a new one for me. You know what? I'm going to try and see for a second here if I can kill this my overhead light to see if it makes it, if it's not too dark, so I can cut out some of this glare here. Let me see here. Let the camera adjust. Let me turn on here. I'll turn on some ring light. Is that too dark, or is that gonna be okay? Let's see what happens. Because the books then can show up better with. Oh, there's still glare from the ring lights, but. Right, so
very cool.
This is ASM number 1, and actually, I think it is too dark. But let me turn this down. Let's dim it to there. And the advantage of having your dimmers and stuff connected to your phone. I can turn off the ring lights now. All right, we'll just deal with it. So yeah, ASM number 1. So we have our first appearance of Kindred, that amazing new villain on Nick Spencer's run.
Nobody likes Kindred.
I know. Even Norman Osborn doesn't like him. All right. From the SpiderMan to the other franchise, the Batman. Here we are, Batman number 2. This is 9.6, signed by Greg Capullo.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first appearance of Talon, William Cobb. So this is beginning to start to introduce the various elements of the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Something that is kind of continuing to just chug in the up way as people are realizing that the Court of Owls has a lot of great stuff still to offer. Probably one of the better introductions of a antithesis.
I agree. It's
in a while.
Court of Owls. Yeah, Court of Owls is definitely one of the better arcs to come out of Batman in the last 15 years. And yeah, I agree. That's
that's
a little
potential.
bit of a spec book you had. A little bit of a spec book you just had there too.
Yep.
Very good.
All right, let's get into a little bit of a groove here. We'll move it up to the 3rd volume, more recent, obviously. We go. Whoa! All of a sudden, you just turned sideways.
Sorry.
You're amazing. How about, okay, first cover appearance of Punchline. We have, this is our 1 in 25 incentive from the beginning of the Joker War, signed by Jorge Jimenez, the cover artist, and James Tinian, the 4th.
Very nice.
We're just going to go with this theme here for a moment. Bear with me.
Jorge was hitting a lot of home runs on those covers right there, those 1 in 25.
Yep. So 93. Of course, this is the identity of the designer revealed, and that was kind of a letdown. But it was the first battle between Harley Quinn and Punchline.
Yep.
Number 94.
Terrific. That was a great use of red right there, too, by Jorge.
Yeah.
Great cover.
So this is, of course, continuing the battle between Harley Quinn and Punchline.
Very good.
Featuring the Underbroker on the cover. Oh, that was falling down. Okay. So that was 94. So 95. So I had some of these. I have the full run of these, and they're all off getting signed, but some of them, for some reason, went through a different way and are taking longer. So 95 is not in our pool for today. However, number 96, featuring our Clown Hunter, the book that, surprisingly to me, one of the biggest ones in this lot, jumping up. I mean, this is nearly a $200 book. Yep. Without the signatures and stuff. Now double signed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I agree, Nav. I know, and then SIGs aren't for everybody, and sometimes it's all about placement. And I wanted to make sure that on these, when I tape these off, because typically you're prepping your own books for signatures, and so for those of you who aren't familiar with that process, there's a lot of videos about them, but essentially you're putting them in a bag and a board, you're taping off with blue painter's tape where you want the signature to be, taking the comic, very important, take the comic out of the bag, and then using a hobby knife, cut out the hole before you reinsert the comic back in there. Then usually throw in a couple extra backing boards. I usually throw like 3 backing boards in there, make sure it's super stiff. That way the book has less chance of getting flopped around while it's there. And then I usually because I usually put these in like a modern or the current is the smaller one, the modern or is the middle size, and then so I put them inside of a modern, and then I'll take that and slide that inside of a silver bag that has a reseal, just the reseal on the back. That way, when it's transported, that hole that I've cut out is protected. But when it gets to wherever I'm sending it for the signature, or if I'm taking it myself, I can just pull it right out real easy and it's ready to go. So. Yeah, no idea about the TV. Yeah, that's why I decided to take the opportunity to show it. So you get to choose that out. Now, the difference is if I send this book in for a third signature and I'm trying to preserve the witnessed things, then I have to send it in slabbed. And the only way to do that is to mark off a bag and a board and include it with this. So that way, when you go, if you send it to CBCS or CGC, they'll take it out and put it into your bag and board, and then you got a chance of getting it where you want it. But usually by this time, if I sent in this book like this, I probably wouldn't have to. It'd be pretty obvious to the next artist where he should sign is probably somewhere in this area over here or down here. But anyways, let's chug on along here. Great yellow background on the book. I agree 100%. See, do you need to press the comic after it gets signed? You know, I've sent off most of my signatures. I've not gotten in person. I've got them through sending them off, either through facilitators or through in-house signing events. And I do always select to have the book pressed. I think the order in which it gets done really depends upon how much lead time there is up to the book. I've seen some of my books, if I send it in and the signing's pretty far out, CGC may send it off to press early and then get it signed and then send it to the grading. And then I've seen other times where if you're right up against it because they don't have time, they'll get it signed first and they press afterwards. Personally, if I had my druthers, I'd rather have them press it afterwards, after it's been handled, to make sure that there's a chance any handling that happened gets cleaned up by the press. But sometimes when you're sending it in, you don't always have that control. Fortunately, any of the books I've gotten back from signings that didn't come back in 9.8, it has always seemed for other reasons other than a pressing issue. It's always been either the book wasn't a 9.8 when I sent it in, like my 9.0 Star Wars, or it's been a book that when I got it back, there was other color rub or something else on there that wouldn't have pressed out. Good question. That's what I like. I like this part to be a question answer. It's supposed to be part of a educational as well as me getting a chance to do some show and tell here. Mm-hmm. All right, next up, how about Batman 100?
Yes, sir.
All right, double signed once again. And so this one, actually, this is your first cameo of Ghostmaker. Of course, the conclusion of it. And because of that cameo of the Ghostmaker, pushing this book up, although it's still only a $70 book and a fair market value, surprisingly.
For now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people are kind of, there's kind of like a lot of people aren't super keen on Ghostmaker yet.
It's the pants. It's the hammer pants. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. I definitely like him more than I like Future State, but that's just my personal opinion. So, all right. How? Oh, this one's on. Okay. How about The Boys?
Yes.
Number one. So this is the Dynamite reprint. So Dynamite, or I'm sorry, not reprint, second printing. Difference between a second print and a reprint. I don't know what it is, but apparently there is. So this is the Garth Ennis signed. This was exclusive as part of the first inaugural BAM box, BAM comic book box, where you get a slabbed book plus a raw copy of the book plus a comic mount for hanging it on the wall. Do 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 do. All right, let's go back to some baddie world here. How about a Punchline? Punchline had a one-shot book, a #1. There was several different sketch covers that were available
last summer.
There was like a pink, there was a blue, and there was the main release was like a grayish white one. But so this is another one on the blue.
Okay.
So this is a sketch cover in the Chibi style. Soul Twice did not do this one. I'm sure that I actually have another one of these blue sketch covers that I actually intend to send off to him to see. He can do a better one. But this is Anna Zoe. Or Zoo, I don't know, Zhou, Zoe, I don't know how you pronounce it, but so yeah, a little Chibi. She was doing some Chibi style sketch covers at Unknown Comics during a live broadcast one time.
That's still very cool.
Yeah, sketch covers are cool, man.
Yeah, I remember I picked up the B cover for that book when it came out, where it's kind of her lying on her back with a bunch of different faces in the background. But yeah, Punchline.
Are you have you taken a cold shower before I show this next book?
Bring it.
This next one brings the heat. It puts the hubba in Slab Hub. Our friend Shannon Mayer, but combining his powers with Mary Jane Watson.
Okay.
To give us the cover for Spider-Man 1.
Oh boy, yes.
And look at that nice red signature color splash matching the mask.
Yeah.
Just, oh my goodness.
Fantastic.
So, interestingly enough, so I have 2 copies of this. Only 1 copy is signed. I'm keeping my signed one. The one that is not signed will be part of my 500 subscriber giveaway.
Very kind of you, sir.
So somebody will get a chance to win a 9/8 version of this color splash Spider-Man #1 featuring Mary Jane on the cover. This is the first appearance of Cadaverous and the death of Mary Jane Watson in that alternate universe. Yeah, the comic book death. All right, let's do one more and then we'll do a giveaway.
Sure.
You like Star Wars?
I do enjoy Star Wars.
Star Wars, I hear it's kind of a big thing on occasion.
Little bit. It has its moments.
Yeah. So kind of the rage amongst all the kids. So here you go. Here's the bad guy of the old Kylo Ren, the rise of Kylo Ren comic book, exploring his background along with Snoke and all that. Signed, of course, in that Infinity signature, Clayton Crane, cover artist there. So
Very
you got
cool.
the ghost of Darth Vader haunting him from behind. This is the first printing. Apparently, there's like a 3rd and 4th and all this other stuff. But
yes.
you know how I play. I don't play with subsequent printings are for suckers. It's first printing or no printing, in my opinion.
Says the children of the 70s. Yes, sir.
I take that. You know, I do actually have a couple second printings, as I do realize I do have my Edge of the Spider-Verse over my shoulder here is the second printing, and
with Gwen peering over your shoulder.
yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, you're a second printing, but you know, I don't try to claim that you're worth more than a first printing because you have less print run. Anyways, so yeah, there you are. No, second printings and third printings are great to get a copy if you can't get that first copy,
right.
But.
Right. And Punchline comes to mind.
Yeah. After showing a second print of the boys, right? Exactly.
Touche now, touche.
But they're great for that purpose when you don't get that first one, or it's just out of your price range, or you just don't want to spend that much, because that's really is. I could get a first printing of SpiderGwen, first prints, and maybe someday I will, but for the $1,600 to $1,800. For the comparable, I spend $200 on a second printing that's signed and remarked. I will take that. It's sometimes if you want to have an impressive overall collection, you have to pick and choose where you spend your money.
Very true.
But I never claim that a second or third printing should ever be worth more than the first printing. And that's where I'm going to sit there and stick to my guns.
I can't argue.
Let's see.
Child of the 70s as well.
I'm with you though, Rob. I was just not a fan of second plus printings like ASM 55 are an exception. Yeah. You know, again, it's like, look,
there are an exception to every rule.
I would always prefer to have the first printing when I can, but sometimes, you know, you're just not gonna do it. Like, I mean, my Darth Vader over here, this is the first printing, the first appearance of Dr. Aphra. That wasn't my first copy of it was a third or fourth, oh no, it was a fourth printing, I think, because that's what, by the time I got it in the comic book store, that's what I could get. I ended up having to go acquire a first printing later on to fill my void. Now, I do still have my fourth printing. My fourth printing is graded as a 9.8, and it's signed by Adi Granoff, but
nice, very nice.
But I'm never going to try to claim that it's somehow worth more than this first printing just because there's a fraction of the print run. No, it's a subsequent printing, but that's me. All right. I said I was going to do a giveaway. All right. So, Chris, it's that. Whoa. Well, those are the slabs sliding. Let's tilt them back. All right. I think we need to have ourselves a hashtag for this one, and I think because yes, that's good. I'm going to do that one. All right, so you're going to do hashtag first printing. Okay, so everybody put
hashtag, sure you spell it correctly.
Hashtag first printing, just as I've put there. And we will go in and do a poll. We'll do a 7-book poll. I'm continuing to feel nice and going to continue to do the 7-book poll to see what we get here and give away some of these books. Meanwhile, I'm going to drink from my own head.
Okay. James Willie has joined us.
Look at that. We got Cat Fan. I see Chop and Drop, Soul Twice, Navs, Beth, Soul Twice again. He's decided to write it differently that time. James Willie, Chop and Drop, Comic Journey, Chop and Drop, Marty Myrick. All right. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds for the feed to catch up. And then we will go ahead and start my collection of books. All right, and that's our end line. I'm going to type it now. End line. What do I think of EGS? So I have used EGS once. I sent 5 books off to test them to see what I thought. My experience with them was that the print or their turnaround time was excellent and phenomenal. All communication via email was promptly responded to, even though I was sending emails at West Coast times and they're in Florida. I would get emails back at probably midnight local time on their spot, very quick responses because it's a small shop, you know. And the books I got back were graded, I thought, accurately. I didn't care for the end result product simply as a matter of opinion. I didn't care for the case they were using at the time. I don't know if they have changed their case since then, but the case that they were using at the time was a case that you could go pick up yourself and do your own slabbing. They were really thin, so they did not accommodate double thick books, and they had hinges on the top of them, so they weren't flat on top.
Really?
So yeah, so I didn't care for them from that sort. I did think, though, that since they were using that slab, which supposedly offered some UV protection, which is a nice thing, they did do a good job of sealing all 3 sides to resist tampering. Each one came with a certificate of authenticity, matching that certificate by serial number to the serial number that was on the book, so it was easily matchable. And your certificate of authenticity included the grader's notes, including even 9/8 had grader notes. So every book came with the grader's notes. I was disappointed that the grader notes were on paper. I do like CBCS's ability to scan it because paper you can lose. It's just something else I have to kind of hang on to. But EGS did offer a lot of mix and match flexibility that most people don't have, as far as if you don't want the standard blue, yellow color labels, you can do a whole bunch of different customized labels. So if you like to play Barbie doll dress up with your comic books, EGS is without a doubt the one for you. Surprisingly, though, their pricing at the time when I did my comparison video was not the cheapest. It wasn't even like the second cheapest, but they were cheaper than CGC. Remy, I see you there. Remy, real quick, if you want in on this, type in hashtag first printing, the number 1 ST printing. We're about to do our first giveaway, 7-book pull from our random books of raw books. About to do that. So thank you for dropping in. So I hope that answered your question about my thoughts on EGS. Let's go ahead and collect do I think that they have a shot at being considered mainstream options straight metal? I don't know. To be honest, they don't need to be mainstream, to be honest. I do want competition, and having somebody that does something different, even if as long as they're accepted by the community. That's been PGX's issue, is that we need a third and a fourth potential grading option to help keep the others in check. But they just need to be recognized and accepted by the community that their grade means something. PGX, unfortunately, for various reasons, has not had their grade universally accepted by the community, and even laughed at by many people, right or wrong. And that has been the biggest disappointment with them, although they are the third largest as far as it goes. So EGS, I don't know. I'd like to see what they have to do. I'd like to see EGS. I'd like to see PGX all be viable options, even if they don't become big, huge things, just to give you that ability to say, hey, this is a book for my PC, and I do want a special custom label. I know I can go there, and people are still going to recognize that grade. So that would be good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. Let me pull in the magic screen, share my screen, pull in this Chrome tab. Let's pull in the giveaway tool. Let's bring that up. Let's collect our first printing. We have 12 entries. Excellent. And let's draw. Wheel of Fish. Wait, sorry. That's for you guys who are Weird Al Yankovic fans. James Willie, really? King James, as we like to call him here on the channel, because he wins quite frequently, and I'm probably his favorite channel because I ship to Canada because I'm nice. All right, let's remove that from there. So let's see here. Let's grab the box of books. I'll just rotate this a little bit so we can see here. And Chris, as always, give us our first. Are we going to go this way, or are we going to pull from the front or the back?
So how many entries did we have? Did I hear you say 12? 12. Okay, why don't we go 12 from the back first and 12 from the front and see what that finds for Mr. Willie.
We're pulling the 12.
12. Pull the 12th that you count.
3, 4,
and while he's counting,
5,
everyone,
6,
I just want to give a shout out to Remy, who's joined us. Remy is a part of this mafioso 11, family
12.
That's a part of the Small Town Collectibles Grow Together initiative, along with myself and Rob. So please make sure that you're subscribed to Remy Q Studios. Remy's giving away a fantastic 9.8 slab of Batman. It's a modern book. I believe it's 102 that he might be giving away. Jeremy, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But yeah, make sure that you're subbed up to Remy Q, also to myself and to Rob, and most importantly that you're subbed up to Jimmy at Small Town Collectibles. And all you have to do is throw in the hashtag the Dawn in those videos that we spotlight Jimmy's channel in, and you have the opportunity to win some fantastic prizes from all these channels collectively. So what do we get?
Of course, you get the drink from the fire hose, mister. Come on down to Spatula City. All right. All right. First one on the win there pool here. We have a Fantastic Four, issue
fantastic.
354. So some early 90s goodness.
Love
and
the
next up, Green Lantern New Guardians from the New 52, issue number 1.
Very good. Very good.
The Weird Al movie. Yes, Nap. There was a Weird Al movie called UHF. All right. Now we're going to do our usual.
Let's do some front to back action. Yes, sir. And now.
How about Magneto?
That's a cool cover.
Issue 0.
It's a cool cover. Look at his little eyeball there.
It's all super shiny. It's like, is this, if this book's not from the 90s, then I don't know what is, because this is straight up shiny goodness there from the foil age.
Has a Sienkiewicz feel to it. Very nice.
Definitely a foil age book.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him to come back towards the front. And now, Rob.
Ooh, how about some G.I. Joe Snake Eyes? This
very
is
cool Storm Shadow cover.
Torpedo Comics exclusive, retailer exclusive, Snake Eyes Dead Game.
Very good. Very good. Was that the one that Liefeld was working on?
Yeah, it is a Liefeld cover.
Yeah, okay.
Even though it shows feet, I know it's mind-boggling. It's a connecting cover.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Liefeld gets a bad rap for feet, but he's a good ambassador for the hobby. And now.
Ooh, from near the back here. Oh, come on. How about X-Men number 1? Woo.
Wow.
There's not many of these out there.
I was going to say, that could be the first X-Men book I've seen. I'll tell you straight up, Rob, and maybe Jeremy can agree with me. That could be the first X-Men book I've seen in a long time that's not signed by Jim Lee. So very good, James. Look at that, man. You get an X-Men book not signed by Jim Lee. That's good. I wonder what the ratio is now for those millions and millions of copies of that book that's out that Jim Lee signed. It might be like in towards like 1 in 8.
It might hedge down a little bit. I mean, he is out at Torpedo Con, and he's doing a signing at CGC later.
Yes. And arguably, it's one of his most famous books of all time. Best-selling book for sure. All right.
I think my only signed copy of X-Men 1 is signed by Claremont.
Now.
SpiderMan 2099, Volume 3, Issue 20.
I've never seen that cover before.
In that new costume. This was a fun series, Volume 3 was kind of fun with him being Miguel O'Hara being trapped and working for Peter Parker Industries and trying to get back to his own time and stuff. It was working with the Captain America 2099.
As a hardcore Spider-Man fan, I have a lot of respect for Miguel as a character. I gotta admit, I do enjoy Miguel as his own Spider-Man.
All due respect to those of you who like, Miles Morales. I'm sorry, Miguel O'Hara is the second best Spider-Man. Period. Even better than Ben Reilly. Fight me.
Oh, for sure. Come on. Come on. All right.
Because I don't count clones. All right. Okay. Last book for our friend James.
Last book. We're trying to get one in the middle for James here. Now.
How about some independent V.E. Schwab Extraordinary Titan Books, issue 00.
And
interesting cover.
Fascinating cover. I like the upper half.
It's a little thin down below.
And I see Nick's from Nick's Kicks and Comics has joined us. Nick's also part of the Mafioso Grow Together movement brought to us, like I mentioned a few moments ago, by Jimmy, Small Town Collectible. That's 4 of us under the same roof here.
James, Willie, congratulations, sir. You got some good books there in that pool. Not bad for all you have to do is spend your time watching me and Chris go through some books. All right. Let's get back into some more slabs, and then we'll do another giveaway. All right, next up here. Ooh, this one's in a very different cover for me. Oh. All right.
Looks a little thick there, Rob. Looks a little thick.
It is a bit of a spec book. It's been very popular by a lot of people. This is actually this is a online artist retail exclusive. So you can only get this from the artist. Look at Nick calling his shots. He's calling it. Strange Academy,
Boom.
#1, the Scotty Young store.com exclusive, signed and remarked by Scotty Young, adding Doctor Strange on the cover for me. How you like them apples?
I'm feeling a pretty penny was spent, and there's a pretty penny value sitting in your hands right there.
I bought this.
That's actually a great remark. That could be one of the better remarks I've ever seen. I've seen a lot. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, no, it is great. I bought this book raw, so it was I think buying it raw was like $15 direct from him. I bought 2 copies and then sent 1 copy off to a signing and paid for the remark, and there you go. I mean, he actually when I posted it originally, when I got it, he posted he actually asked permission to re-share this on some of his stuff, and I was like, oh. No, you can't share your art. No.
Can you imagine? Is it okay if I share my own artwork for a book that you own? Come on. And the good thing about Strange Academy is a lot of people get to realize how actually talented Scotty Young is as a writer. A lot of people just get caught up in his, those childlike drawings that he does for covers and interiors. He's actually a great writer too.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the first one, yes. Yeah, on a Wednesday, not a Monday.
All right. Sold twice. I hope you're paying attention. Because now the rest of the box. This is a lot of books in here. Donny Cates, You're a Bastard. That's all I have to say. And this is the run that spawned a billion variant covers. So let's just go through them. Ladies and gentlemen, the symbiote of symbiotes, Mr. Venom. Here you go. #1, a Perillo cover, CBCS 9.8, signed by Perillo, Donny Cates, and Ryan Stegman. 3 amigos. Well, even though they probably never actually met, but I mean, Cates and Stegman. Yeah, Perillo. He might have been trapped overseas for the past year.
Like myself, he might be, condemned to his own country.
This book did have to travel.
Yes,
because it made its way to Italy in order to get signed by him before coming back. So awesome cover. You can't go too wrong with Perillo. He's one of those artists. Del Otto's another one of them. It's kind of hard to Campbell when he does a female. What are you gonna do? All right,
Alex Ross.
How about another Venom #1? This is the Tyler Kirkham Convention exclusive. This one triple signed as well. Tyler Kirkham. Here, kind of hidden, you can see Donny Cates and the Stegman himself, the Stegosaurus signature. Beautiful convention cover. The red, awesome. 9.8.
The Venom French Kiss covers, I like to refer to it.
And this cover is actually, so this is what I love about CBCS. So this is a hybrid book. And what I mean by hybrid is it's verified signatures for Donny Cates and Tyler Kirkham. I had that done elsewhere unwitnessed, and then witnessed Ryan Stegman on 2/7. So we get both the witnessed and verified signatures all in one. You get that yellow label. Something you just can't do that with with CGC. One of the great services that CBCS offers.
Someone in the chat threw Peach.
What's that?
We were talking about fantastic artists. Someone threw a Peach.
Threw a Peach. I don't.
Did I not see Peach?
I'm not seeing something in my chat.
See Peach. James Willie threw in Peach. Only when she does Yoda. That's it.
No. Oh, no.
Here we go.
She does some amazing Venom when we get there. Continuing the Tyler Kirkham run, here's number 2 in our Virgin variant. Again, triple signed. Donnie Cates, Tyler Kirkham, Ryan Stegman. Yep. I like my multi-sig books. Once I get one signature, I want more.
Yep.
Please, sir, could I have some more?
How simple a blue Sharpie pops on that cover, though, with Tyler Kirkham's autograph.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he jumps. Donnie Cates likes to try to hide his signature.
Yeah.
And then Stegman just shows up because it's the Stegosaur. I mean, marking that cover up, though, with blue tape, trying to find spots, trying to get them to sign is a bit difficult there. So last week, we opened up some books that came straight from CBCS.
Yes, we did.
And 2 weeks ago. Yes, not last week, because last week I was cooking a shit ton of meat. And in there, we had the Tyler Kirkham Venom #3 trade dress that was signed by Tyler Kirkham that got signed. Well, here is that book again, but here's the Virgin variant. Venom issue 3, first full appearance of Null, triple signed, because that's how I roll. Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, Tyler Kirkham. What it is, yo. With the Venom character logo up there that makes all the girls' pants go wet. I guess.
Easy.
It's Slab Hub. Come on. It's not my fault they were waiting in the river to get to it. That's why their pants are wet. What are you thinking?
Sold twice. Just Donnie Cates sig offends me. I gotta admit too, man. It's just a long D and a big old C.
You know what?
Read into it however you want.
If I was doing as many signings as that man has done the last short amount of time, last 2 years, well, who am I kidding? My signature is basically isn't much better than his, because I used to work in a warehouse. I used to sign a lot of crap back in my day. It takes me longer to initial something it does to sign it.
Signing a bill of lading versus something that you help create is a little bit of a difference. You should take a little bit more pride. But I get a lot of these celebrities, how loosely you want to use the term, they create an autograph which is entirely different from what their signature itself is. Let's be honest, because a lot of them just don't want anyone to be able to forge their signature versus signing an autograph. There are they do consider two different things. Joe Theismann, the football player, comes to mind.
Okay, so let's see. How do you feel about comics that were signed by creators that had nothing to do with the comic? That doesn't. Yeah, I wouldn't do it for any of mine. It does. I don't know why a creator would sign a book that they had nothing to do with. Now, if the exception to that rule might be the creator of a character, if somebody is attributed as having created that character, and even though they didn't work on that book, but it's like frickin'
Todd signing that book,
okay, but even Todd signing this book, I don't really, I would feel weird about it personally, because I think of Todd more with
ASM SpiderMan.
So yeah, and maybe the Lethal Protector. I take my Lethal Protector and had Todd McFarlane sign that. Maybe that's still along that same type spot. But once I get out to here, this is a very different Venom in my mind. So for me personally, I would avoid it. But anyways, yeah.
I get that Stan was, pardon me, almost the exception to the rule, basically, because without his creations, there are no creations. Like, say what Rob has in his hand there. Like, without Stan creating Spider-Man, then there's no Venom. And a lot of these books always had Stan Lee Presents on the interiors, and that. I get that Stan is the asterisk to that, but I'm kind of with Rob on that. Like, it's tough. It's one thing to present an artist and with a blank cover and have them sketch something like that, given Ken Lashley a copy of Deadpool. Ken Lashley's never done Deadpool to my knowledge, but to have him sketch it's one thing because it's a blank cover, but to have him just straight up autograph a book, it's to each their own, right? But to me, outside of Stan, even now Stan's gone, there's so many books out there now, like for example Todd. There's so many things that Todd's done. Why would I want to present something that Todd hasn't actually touched himself in front of him?
And this one here, it drives you crazy when celebs sign books. If a celebrity is well known for the character on it, and especially if it's a book with a character with one of the like movie scene, or where it's portraying that actor portraying the character cover, then I don't have an issue with it necessarily. But again, it's not really for me. And that's like, for example, there were a couple of Star Wars different things. Like if Harrison Ford was doing something, I had a Han Solo #1. Having Harrison Ford sign that book. Granted, I would never pay the like $800 he wants for a signature, but if I was, I don't think that there's a problem per se with that, because Han Solo is intrinsically Harrison Ford, right?
100%.
Versus, and I know some people that are going off. There's a lot of people getting Lou Ferrigno signings on Hulk books, and I think it really kind of depends on you as a person, as an individual on that. But for the most part, I tend to agree. Stan Lee signing a Batman book, yeah, that would make no sense because he had nothing to do with that whatsoever. No. All right, so this was Venom #4. If Robert Downey and Tom Hardy sign my Iron Man or Venom books, that's great. Yeah, so there you go. So there we go. Here we go. Venom 4. This is, of course, the origin of Nowhere and Null, Null, triple signed, and of course featuring Miles Morales on the cover of that one.
Speaking of great placement, how great is Miles' placement on that cover? Come on, that's awesome. Even his pose.
So you see Jim Shooter. Now, here's the thing with Jim Shooter. The man was like the editor of like a billion books for Marvel. And so a lot of the books he was on, his name is attributed to the book, even though he had no writing, no drawing, anything else, but he was either the chief editor or the editor of the book. And so, for me personally, I would not take a book that has no signatures on it and get him as the first signature. However, if I have a book that has 3 or 4 signatures on it and I decide I'm going to throw a Jim Shooter on there and he was the editor for the book, then for me personally, that's not a big deal because I have the primaries, right? It's the same thing like the letterer. I'm probably not going to go get the letterer's autograph as the first autograph on a book, but once I have the artist, interior artist or the cover artist and the writer, at least two others, then I might go, hey, okay, let me throw this on there. Let me throw that on there type of thing.
I agree wholeheartedly. And the perfect example what Rob's talking about as Jim Shooter being a 3rd or 4th or 5th signature, 5th signature would be that book that's over his right shoulder. The Behold, the new costume from Secret Wars with Peter wearing the black suit there.
Yeah.
That's the book I probably most attribute to Jim Shooter's signature being on, would be that particular issue right there.
And it is Jim Shooter's on there, along with John Beatty and Michael Zeck.
Mike Zeck.
Yeah. So Jim Shooter's the third signature on there.
Right.
All right. Oh, here's a book that's kind of come up a little bit. Venom #9. Here's the Philip Tan variant.
Expect book right now. Mm-hmm.
This is only double signed, but Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman. It's waiting for the day I can get a Philip Tan signature on there for the cover artist, because I do love to get myself that trifecta.
It's actually great placement for both signatures there on Venom's leg and his arm there.
Yeah,
especially for Donny Cates.
Great contrast there with the silver ink, which was my request. I do have the Virgin variant of this as well too. Unfortunately, my Virgin variant is only like maybe a 9.4. It has some color rub issues on the back cover, but that's why I ended up getting the trade dress variant sent in, because I knew it had the chance at the 9.8 versus the other, which had no chance. All right, as we continue on our Venom quest. Here's a book I debated cracking to send off, because it's a Jay Anceletto cover. There's a Jay Anceletto signing, or Anacoletto. Yeah, whatever. I'm not a great person.
I always thought it was Anceletto too, but you might be right.
So this is one of 750. This is actually this is number 20 of 750. Venom number 11. Signed here, Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. I debated cracking it, but at the end of the day, I just decided I got too many books out at signings right now, and cracking signed books to have them signed again just adds to the expense. So sometimes I have to pick and choose what I'm going to do. Comic Journey, you're not driving me crazy with questions. In fact, that is the intended purpose of Slab Hub, is not just for me to do show and tell, but is for us to take moments and talk about these books, to ask about, to learn about the process of getting signatures or getting books signed and graded, and just talk about comics in general. So I appreciate you answer the questions. And of course, as I've mentioned many times, every single book I have is available for sale. Sometimes some of them at a reasonable price. Some of them are really expensive because I don't want to sell them. But everything has a price. All right. This is number 20. This is another limited. This is of 500 copies. So this is 220 out of 500. Danny Cates and Ryan Stegman. And this is issue number 20. So nothing special in it, but it's just only a 500 copy print run.
It's actually a fantastic
cover.
What?
Yep, that's right.
For a second there, when you pulled it up, I thought that was the Red Goblin, but I can tell now it's not the Red Goblin. But
yeah,
still.
If I have a good price on Silk's first appearance, you see, I don't have a good price on that one. That one is back there. That's signed by Ramos, and that one's my only copy. So that's like
Ramos.
It's like $2,000. You go buy a copy for. You can go buy several copies for that. So sorry. Let's see.
SpiderGwen. Yes,
Venom
it is back there for a reason.
And this is only a fraction of the Venom collection, because we've gone over a lot of Venom books in other boxes as we've gone here too, Sold Twice. So I'm actually getting to the point where I'm going through some of my books, and after I do my 500 giveaway and stuff, I will probably go through and do some thinning of my herd and get ready to do some of my first claim sales on IG. And I will go through, including a lot of my Venom, because I have like 5 and 6 variant copies for almost every issue, and duplicates of several. So I will probably just keep following me. If you're not already, follow me on IG, link down below. I will eventually, probably next month, sometime, start to do my first claim sale and move some of these books at actually good prices, not just reasonable, but actually some good prices, to move them on to some other people. People usually think I'm trolling them, but I'm serious most of the time. No, that's good. All right, let me show next book, and I'll get back to this. All right, how about this one? Venom 25, quad signed. This one was on the back wall for quite some time.
You got Bagley there too.
Yep, Bagley, Shannon, Mayer, and Ryan Stegman. So this one was interesting to me when I sent it off. I sent this through Trinity Conventions. No, I'm sorry. Captured Collectibles is the facilitator I used on this book originally for the Shannon Mayer signature. And I love the guys at Captured Collectibles. They've done phenomenal stuff for me. And he reached out to them. I sent it off for I reached out to him initially. The Shannon signing and the Bagley signing were happening in very short order. And I pinged him and I said, hey, if I sent this off, would you be able to get it both done? And he said, absolutely, I can do that for you. And I said, cool. And then while it was with him, he called me up and said, hey, I'm going to be going off and seeing Donny Cates. Do you want me to get Donny Cates to sign it for you too?
Wow.
And I said, sure. And so he did. And then while he was at it, Stegman happened to be there. So he didn't even call me up. He just got it done, got it signed. And then he sent me a picture, said, "Hey, I got a surprise for you." And he got the Stegman sign. Now, obviously, I mean, I paid for the signatures, but he goes, I knew you were going to want it. And I was like, "Oh, dude, I didn't know Stegman was on there because Stegman's not credited on this book." He says, "Oh yeah," but he says, "No, actually, Stegman did some uncredited work on some of the interior pages, so that's why he signed it." I was like, "Oh, okay, great, cool." So
that's some great customer service, Rob. Great customer service.
He's been awesome. Does a phenomenal job packing everything when he sends it back. So yeah, I've been super stoked with the guys over at Captured Collectibles. They are on my list. I should start adding it to all my videos. I maintain a list of upcoming signings, either through CGC and CBCS or through facilitators that I have experienced using that I trust. And I keep it available. It's on a sheet. It's linked on some of my videos. I'm going to start linking it to all of them. So if you come back to this video tomorrow, I'll add it to what's down below. If you're interested, you can check and see. And it's got link. Then that Google sheet takes you to hyperlinks to each one of those signing events, whether it's with Captured Collectibles or CGC or whatever, just so you know what kind of signings are going. And I keep it updated all the time. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Here's another Venom 25. All the hype about a particular character with Venom 25. This was the Greg Horn exclusive that he did. You can see Greg Horn comics. Greg Horn, this was a limited. He did this book, a Virgin, and there was a convention variant as well. Of them, there were only 100 that he did this remark on, where he remarked virus in the drippy paint, ink, and sign. So you can see this is number 45 out of 100 that he did. And he has promised, he has done other signings of this book. He will not do this remark if people ask for it, because he committed to it being a limited print run. What's interesting, he also signed the back as well with some more drippy drips all over here. And apparently in finding out that he does this anywhere where he thought, and there's a lot of these little drippy drips all over the backside, anywhere where he thought there was any chance that CGC might knock the book down. And because this is like one of those hex pattern kind of what do you call it? It's God, I know the houndstooth kind of pattern, anyways, back. So anywhere where he thought there was the slightest possible chance, he would put ink over it, so that way CGC couldn't ding it at all.
Now there's a man of the people.
That's right. So this one says signed twice and sketched 45 out of 100. Greg Horn, 627 on front and back cover. So let's go. This was a wall book, James, for quite some time, but I eventually pulled it down because I only have so much wall space, and eventually you have to pick and choose. So a lot of these books used to be on the wall at one point or another. Do I sell only graded comics? No, when I go to do my claim sale, I will also be doing raw comics as well, as I go through some of that stuff. All right, next up, Venom 26. This is just a lonely A cover. More virus goodness on it. What a letdown. I'm really disappointed because I love the look of Virus. I hope that someday he comes back. But Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman's signatures on it.
I almost feel like they shouldn't have said who he was. They could have just left it a mystery, like how DC's doing with Red X right now with the whole Teen Titans Academy story arc. They could have just left them as a mystery, and that book would be like almost $500 sitting in your hand, because nobody would know that it's actually just the Scorpion.
This book does get to carry the distinctive writing that it's the first distributed appearance of Venom, intended to be the second appearance, but distributed before Free Comic Book Day 2020 due to COVID-19 shipping delays.
A little bit of history.
So it is the book that gets the reference COVID on it. We're getting to the end here. 3 more books, and we'll do another pull. It's more virus. How about the John Boy Myers Venom number 28, I believe? Yeah, 28.
Love it.
This book, there were 3 variants as well, but I had to go with the trade dress just because I felt the green background stuff that was in there just looked so much better than everything else.
Love it.
I wouldn't hold my breath on a lot of things Donny Cates has created with new characters. They might tie in a future event, but that's about it. Yeah, I mean, I know I like to think that maybe someday somebody will pick up and run with it. I mean, there is a whole thing going on with Iron Man not being thrilled with symbiotes all throughout. The symbiotes are becoming like the whole new X-Men across the planet, feared by people. A lot of people have symbiotes now, and Iron Man getting involved in wanting to deal with them. And who knows, maybe at some point that enters in a realm of the original Iron symbiote hunter. Who knows? I don't know. Could be. Can a boy dream? I hope so. All right. Well, sold twice. If you thought that one was good, this is another one of those covers. It was a great cover. We've seen it a billion times because Tyler Kirkham and the Venom Beyond run, thanks to the Illuminati group, Street Level Heroes, and all them. These covers have been done in 17 different variants, right? But
yes,
but with the remark.
This is the Slab Hub of Remark episode. Holy cow, look at that one.
If you're going to have a Venom Beyond book with a Tyler Kirkham cover, and it's only going to be the trade dress, why not get it with a freaking remark that takes up a third of the real estate?
Wow. Wow.
So,
and I'm sure that only took them, a few minutes to do, but my goodness, that is one sexy beast. Look at that.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah. Exactly. So that is sex appeal. All right. One last book. Most recent acquisition from the BAM box. Venom 30. Signed by Gates.
Very good. Very good.
I like Remy. That's not a remark. That's a custom cover.
That's a sketch cover right there. It just happens to have
it's damn near close. Yeah, it's a sketch cover over the existing cover. Yeah, exactly. All right, so that does it for this box here. All right, so it's time for us to go back to the hashtag. Let's go back and let me refresh this. As I get this ready here, I'm going to choose a broadcast. And I think this time, do that. Yes, that'll work nicely. All right. Let me first give the hashtag, then I'll go through some of these while we're waiting for people. You're going to put hashtag, and for those of you who are old, I'll say this again, it's the tic-tac-toe symbol. You're going to do hashtag road to 500. As I have written there, because I'm on my road to 500. We'll be getting there close. So while we're doing that, what do we say? You missed one, unfortunately. Well, good thing this is on rewind. We're sorry that you missed it. Do you provide the marker for the signers, or they were? Oh, so usually when you go to a signing event or you send your books into a signing event, they have their markers, and actually they don't want you sending in markers. They typically won't. It's a bad idea for them to travel and other stuff. So you can request color, but if you request a color that's odd, you can't. There's no guarantee the color's available. So I usually will list on my request, if I care, I will list a couple different color options. I'll say that, black or gold, silver, or white, or contrasting color or something. I feel like I should have sent mine as EGS. Okay, good luck all. Road to 500, road to 500, road to 500, road to 500s. Okay, so we got a bunch of road to 500s. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Hey, Chip Getler, real quick, Chip, if you want in on this pull, hashtag road to 500. Yeah, sorry, somebody's knocking at my door. My kid's answering the door.
While everyone's listening and Rob's dealing with his people there, that's 5 of us that's a part of this mafia group that's helping Jimmy from Small Town Collectibles get to his 1,000. I'm on the road to 500 myself as well. Make sure that you subscribe to let's go this way. Rob, myself, Chip Getler, Nick's Kicks and Comics, and Remy Hughes Studios. We're all giving away comic books. I know that Nick is giving away a stack of books. Chip is giving away some fantastic stuff as well. Make sure that you subscribe to each one of us. And most importantly, to Small Town Collectibles. We're all trying to help Jimmy get to 1K. All you have to do in the videos that we made for Jimmy's, put hashtag the Dawn, and you get an opportunity to win some fantastic prizes.
Comic Journey, if they were to sign, usually they use Sharpies. Sometimes they use, they do sometimes use paint, a paint ink thing that doesn't bleed through if they're just doing a signature. Where bleed through becomes an issue is if you were to send it in for a full sketch cover, in which case usually they will pull that out of a bag and board. They're not going to do it through the window, and they'll usually put a piece of paper between that to catch any of that bleed through. No, it wasn't pizza. It was apparently the gas company was going to do something to the meter. I don't know. All right. So let's go ahead and let's bring this back up, add this to the stream. Let's do our start collecting comments. We have ourselves 12 comments, and let's sit here and draw. Round and around, around she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. Sold twice. Winner, winner, winner. Chicken dinner. Very good. Congratulations, sold twice. Let's do some pulls for you. Any particular reason that you're out in the car today? I never even asked.
I just wanted to, it's the weekend. I like to go out, and there's a couple nice parks I like to drive through and just kind of relax in, when I have some downtime. And I'll be honest, 2:30 Eastern time kind of snuck up on me, and I knew there was no way I was going to make it back with traffic the way it is where I am. And the world's starting to open back up here in Ontario. Traffic is a little bit thicker than what it's been for the last year and a half. But anyways, enough about me. Let's get
sold twice some books. 7 books he's going to get here. How
many
are you safe? Are they looking for you? Remy wants to know. He apparently knows about how you've been on the run after that whole underage comic book fight club scene that you were involved in. So the authorities are looking for you on the run. Got it.
We don't talk about it.
All right. So what are we going to do first? How are we going to start this?
How many hashtags?
It was 12 again.
12. Okay, let's go 12 from the back, but pull the 13th.
Pull the 13th, but got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pulling number 13. Okay.
And
we got ourselves a Silver Surfer. And now the Defenders.
Very nice.
Silver Surfer number 58. $1 goodness. Great book.
Very nice. Some late 80s love there. And we'll do the same from the front this time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pulling number 13. How about Mr. and Mrs. X, signed by Tyler Kirkham?
Well.
Signed book. Hello.
Sold twice.
Darling.
You are welcome, sir. You are welcome.
Ragtime gal. All right.
That's very good of you, Rob, to give away Kirkham. Okay, let's just do some front to back action now.
That's what she said.
only.
New Mutants number 6. Silver
yeah,
Samurai. There you go.
Some Silver Samurai. Very good.
I'll start from the back.
Go right up to the front. And now.
Ms. Marvel, number 18, Kamala Harris. Or not Kamala Harris. Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan.
Who's
Kamala
going to be
Harris.
played by a Canadian.
Oh my God. The vice president is now a superhero, apparently.
In some people's eyes, sure. And now.
Okay.
Oh.
The reign of Superman. The man of tomorrow is back. Jurgens and breeding. There you go. Very good. All right. So that's 5 books so far. 2 more to go.
Right it to the back. And now, Rob.
How about Gotham City Secret Files? Number 1, September 2000. Jesus, this book is 21 years old already.
Wow.
How you do I? See, you've met my.
Okay, right. Since there was 5 of us that's a part of the Grow Together initiative, why don't you count back 5 from the back?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and are we grabbing the 5th or are we grabbing the 6th?
We'll pull the 5th. I plead the 5th and you pull the 5th.
Thor 475. Foily goodness. Yeah.
Woo. Never seen that cover before. Very nice.
Look at that lightning action. I am the god of hammers. Wait, no, that's not right. So good job there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. Sold twice. Congratulations, sir. Excellent. Everybody, thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Next week, we'll have a very special Slab Hub. I don't going to give any teases away, but it will be a special one. It will be a very pricey one. How's that? And we'll have giveaways, of course, again, as always. Monday, I have, of course, again, the whole STC 1000 Jimmy, the Mafia, we've been talking about him. Talking about us, though, for a second. Don't forget my man here, Chris, the Comic Vet, criminally low at less than 400 subscribers, right? I mean, come on, guys. His link's down below. Make sure you hit him up. Also, myself on the road to 500. If you're not, hit us up. Monday, I'll have my normal comic book mail call. You'll be, of course, doing your mystery box Monday, I assume.
I'm planning on it.
Phenomenal. I'll enjoy it. No sidekicks comics this coming up week. That's now it's a first and third Tuesday of the month thing now.
Cool.
All of us are criminally low. Well, that's probably true, Chip, but that's also because we have to put in more effort, or evil people. I don't know which is the case. And of course, Wednesday, of course, you'll be doing your comics from the car, I assume.
Yep. So tomorrow morning it'll be 2 cool guys swap picks.
Oh, I'm sorry,
myself.
I forgot one. Yeah.
All good. Myself and Mark from Legion of Comics. Everyone knows Mark. We each give 1 hot pick for this upcoming new comic book day on a multitude of reasons why we think that you may want to consider spending a little bit of money on a book that we think that you should. Tomorrow night, I'll be joining Mark and Ryan, the new guy from the Cosmic Campfire, for At Week's End, where we take a spoiler look back at this week in pop culture, mostly focusing on comic books, of course. Monday, like Rob was kind enough to say, it'll be Mystery Box Monday. And Wednesday, I'll be showing everyone from the interior of this car. I only have one. All the books that I pick up. So, yeah, thank you, Rob, for having me again. It's always much fun.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm going to say one last plug I'm going to put in here is guys, check your communities for as conventions are coming back. A lot of small conventions, great fun. I know that, I live in Silicon Valley, and Silicon Valley has had a Comic-Con for several years. It was put on by the Woz, the Wizard of Woz, so to speak, but he kind of moved out and was taken over by one of the Mythbusters boys, and now it's really kind of become a maker's fair, which kind of was a letdown for me. But was down apparently not just for me but for several others, and so a bunch of comic people got together and they formed a San Jose con that's been announcing artists like Frank Cho and God, his name just escaped me. Sam De La Rosa, and so some legit names coming out. I mean, it's just a 1-day show, but they're being straight up making a point of booking it the same days or the same weekend as the big convention that used to be a comic convention that's now really become a maker fair, doing counter programming. I love it. It's great. And it's like getting in is like $8 to get into the convention. So check your local conventions, guys. There's a lot of small things like that. Keep track of stuff. And hey, if you're in the Silicon Valley area, check out San Jose Con next month. $8 to get in. Some great artists. It's going to be awesome. Anyways, guys, until next time, thank you all for attending. It means a lot to us. Like, subscribe, follow, hit notification bells, etc., etc., etc. And until next time, collect what you want. Don't listen to us, because at least one of us is a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks.